What is up, guys? Welcome back to Michigan Muscle. Today, my bags are packed, got the Audi behind me, and it's another day of selling another car. The Audi's actually gonna go away, so I've got my bag packed. I'm gonna go meet the seller. I'm sorry, I'm the seller. I'm gonna go meet the buyer, and the car's going away. So I had it listed for a while, as a lot of you guys know, and I had a higher asking price on the car for a rebuild title, and you know, that could have been a lot of the reason why it wasn't selling. And this guy, he's a Audi fanatic coming from an S5, and he's going to actually daily drive this car to the day it dies, to, 150, 200,000 miles and, whatever. So, at least it's going to a good home, but I'm going to go meet the guy right now, head over to the bank, make the transaction, and the car's gone. I've already got another car pretty much on the way that you guys are going to see in a future video. I'm flying down to another state to go pick it up. So you have to wait for another video to hear more about that. But let's do one final walk around of the Audi before it's gone, and she's on her way. So for you guys that didn't see my last video, I powder coated the wheels black, and I think it really added to the look of the car. It made a huge difference. But for being a rebuilt car, I think it's in really good shape. It was really difficult aligning all the gaps on this car, especially on a front end car when you're replacing everything in these German cars. It was tough. This bumper is really tough as well to align. Everything turned out really good. The windows came tinted, but everything worked on it. It was a really fun car. The spoiler worked, everything. And it's got that AWE track exhaust on it that sounds great, which is what I'm really gonna miss. It's been a lot of fun. Pretty much a perfect interior. If you guys remember, none of the airbags blew off or anything. The Alcantara was sweet. I really like this a lot. This is probably one of my more favorite cars that I've owned, I would say, in the few cars that I have owned. I like this one a lot, especially for daily driving purposes. It was pristine. So before I head over and meet the guy, I need to grab a screwdriver, and I've already got the title, all the other paperwork from the car being rebuilt. Let's see, Phillips, because I don't want him keeping my license plate. And we should be pretty much good to go. It was a fun build. I enjoyed it. The next car is not a build. It's already got a clean title, but it'll be a build in itself. It's another car similar to the Camaro that I can play with, have fun with, and go fast with. That will hopefully hold its value. So I'm excited for you guys to see what you think of it. And hopefully I'll have a video of it up soon. Let's go meet the buyer. One last video of that track exhaust. It was a half cold start. I missed the initial startup because I'm the only one here. Listen to this. Yeah, it really is such a fun car. It's gonna be sad to see it go, but like I said, I'm really excited for you guys to see this next car. It's gonna be sweet. All right, guys, before the final send off to the new buyer, I wanted to talk about a few of my absolute favorite things with this car. If you're looking for a car that handles amazing, this car drives phenomenally. It's the tightest car that I've driven, even in comparison to the R8. I want to say this car might even drive a little bit better because it's more intended for daily use, is where the R8 is like a super car that's been refined a little bit, from the Lamborghini Gallardo, but it's not necessarily meant for daily driving use. This one is, and you can fly through roundabouts. The suspension's really, really tight, and then it still has the 8-piston calipers on the front, so the car stops great. It handles really, really well. Way better than my Camaro did. It would be a great track car. There might be a little bit of a lack of power, compared to other cars, for more money, obviously, but that aside, the car handles phenomenally, and that has to be one of my favorite things about driving this car. And it's a lot more comfortable to drive than the Camaro that I've had and then other cars that I've been in. It's a really smooth ride. The power is very linear, and it's right there with the dual clutch, the 7-speed dual clutch. So you want to accelerate, it accelerates. And what's really cool is on the highway, it's got this button under your gas pedal that if you can floor the gas, and then if you push it a little bit further, there's a button that presses, and it's actually a passing gear. So, and it only works if you're doing, 60, 65 to like, gosh, I don't know, 80 maybe. And you push the button and it downshifts to a really high RPM, like 6,000 RPM. And that way you can fly past somebody, if they're going slow or whatever. And I found that really, really useful, and it's really smooth too, surprisingly. Again, compared to other cars that I've driven, like my Camaro had something similar where it would downshift and whatever, but it was really aggressive, really uncomfortable to do. This car, I can do it, and it feels great. It's awesome. And what I've noticed is even better about this car too is around town, like right now I'm doing 30 miles an hour, it's 1,000 RPM, but it's geared to be a city car, not so much on the highway. The highway, it's going to pull 3,000 RPM at 80 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour, and which you get a lot worse mileage. But for driving around town, it actually does fairly well. And with this car, I've noticed that I can get pretty close to 300 miles out of a tank, which a lot of people aren't able to do with this car. I don't know how, because people have fought me tooth and nail on it, but I went and I measured my fuel use, and I tracked out the miles that I put on the car, and the gauge is accurate, as far as how many miles you have till empty. And so when you fill up and it says you have 350 miles till empty, it really means it. As long as you drive the car normal. I didn't even drive it that great. I was still beating on it a little bit and still having fun, but it's a very, very usable car. So those are a few of my absolute favorite things about this car. All right, guys, this is the final farewell of my, hey, final send off of the RS5. Here she goes. It's bittersweet. All right, guys, and that's it for today. My RS5 is officially gone. Time for the next project. Stay in touch with the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Comment below what you think the next car is going to be. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.